Hi everyone. I have to take Olivia to get her braces put on. So I need you to be working with the sub and make sure that you're working hard all the way through class. So we're going to go ahead and start talking about lesson 8.6. For those of you that watched the video yesterday, this will be a review. And for those of you that have not watched the video, it will be a preview of what's to come. So when we see the word inequality, you can actually take off the prefix in and the suffix ity, and remember that in means not, ity means the state of, and equal means equal. Okay, so we are talking about things that are not equal. And when we're doing that, we're actually using new symbols. We will not be allowed to use the equal sign. So in inequalities, we're either using the greater than symbol, less than symbol, the greater than or equal to symbol, or the less than or equal to symbol. So today we're going to be writing equations. However, they're going to be called inequalities because you will have to use one of these four symbols instead of your equal sign. So let's take a look at a couple of examples here. Swim practice will be no more than 35 laps, meaning it cannot be more than 35. So just like when we were writing algebraic expressions, we have to have a variable, a number, and instead of a math operation, we're going to have one of these inequality signs up here. So let's say that practice will be our variable p. We have our 35 and no more than. So we can actually be equal to the 35. However, the 35 is as large as we can get. So we're going to put our less than sign. So p has to be less than or equal to 35. Let's look at number 2. Kevin ran for less than 5 miles. So Kevin, and we put, I'm going to use the K for Kevin for my variable, and we have 5. And less than means that the 5 is the largest it can be. So the number that we replace the K with has to be smaller than 5. So our inequality is K is less than 5. Let's look at number 3. The occupancy of the room must be less than 437 people. So let's use R for the room. It has to be less than 437. So R is less than 437. Besides writing inequalities from story problems, we also had to be able to graph them. What's interesting about our inequalities is because they are not equal to a specific number, it's actually a range. So, for example, looking at number 4, it says f is larger than 1. Well, if we think about all the possible answers, we could be talking about the number 5 is greater than 1, 10. We could talk about 1 million. We could talk about 1 billion. And all the numbers in between, all the numbers that are greater than 1 are actually answers to this problem. So it is not possible for us to find one specific answer to say f is equal to something. So instead, we use graphing, we graph the answers on a number line. So in order to do this, we start off by taking the number that they give us and put it in the middle of our number line. And then I'm going to go ahead and label 3 numbers on either side. So to the right it would be 2, 3, 4. To the left it would be 0, -1, -2. Now it says the answers to this problem, f, are greater than 1. So I know 2 is greater than 1 and 4 is greater than 1, as well as the numbers continuing on to the right. And even when we look at 1, we can't choose exactly on 1, so we're going to draw an open circle here saying you cannot have the answer be exactly 1. However, if we were right here, right next to the 1, like 1.1, that would work. So we're going to use an open dot and then use an arrow to point in which direction on the number line the answers can be found. So any answer that is larger than 1 or to the right of the number 1 on the number line answers this inequality. So let's take a look at this next one. It says x is less than or equal to 5. So I'm going to start by putting my 5 on my number line, and I'm going to put 3 numbers on each side. And now this time things are going to be a little different. I'm going to actually be able to put a solid dot on the 5, because down here it says that x is equal to 5. So 5 is equal or is less than 5. And then I need to find numbers. I'm going to put little stars above them. I know that 4 is less than 5, as well as the 2 and the 3. Where on the other side, the 6 is bigger than 5, so we can't go that way. So we're going to take our arrow up, and we'll go to the left, because the numbers to the left of the 5 on the number line will satisfy this inequality. Let's look at this next one. Y is greater than or equal to 4. So I'm going to put my number 4 right here in the middle and label 3 to the right. And I'll do 3 to the left. And again, I'm going to be able to write a solid dot on the 4 because the answer can be exactly 4. But it says the y has to be either equal to 4 or it can be larger than 4. So I know 5 works, 6, 7. So I'm going to draw my arrow up and to the right on this one, because the numbers to the right of the 4 will satisfy the inequality. So in summary, if we have greater than or less than symbols, you're going to be using an open circle on your graph. And if you have greater than or less or equal to or less than or equal to, you will use a solid dot to graph. So today, you should be able to be correcting your 8-6 practice and do your IXL P22, and I want at least 60%. If it's going really well for you, I would like you to push to go to 80%. When you have both of these completed, check in with Mrs. Sampson or my substitute, and then you'll be off and running on the Moodle quiz. Homework tonight for all students, whether you get to the 8-6 quiz or not, you need to watch the 8-7 video, take your notes, work on the practice assignment, and work on the IXL assignment for 8-7. Be sure to get to work and work hard all the way through the class period and get caught up on late assignments, and I'll see you tomorrow.